Good morning, I am April Singh Lama and these are the headlines of the hour. SEE begins today with 514,071 students participating. Nepal Education Board urged students to stay confident and follow guidelines. Government decision to operate OPDs in 2 shifts fails to come into effect. Lawmakers criticize the government for indifference while citizens struggle to access health care. US President Trump and Ukrainian President Zelensky held positive conversation on an hour-long phone call. Zelensky claims lasting peace achievable this year. And the International Olympic Committee to elect a new president in Greece today. 7 candidates compete for the prestigious position. Secondary Education Examination SEE for this year started today at 8 a.m. across 2,079 centers nationwide. According to the Nepal Education Board, 514,071 students are participating this year. Out of these students, 75,000 students are appearing for partial exams. Each center will have 1 supervisor for every 20 students. Special provisions have been made for students from Japan, Kathmandu Central Jail, Dailek Prison, Bhaktapur Juvenile Home, and the Safalta HIV Education Center in Kantipur. The exam will run until April 1st, with the first paper being compulsory English. The results are expected to be announced by July 21st, and students must score at least 35 marks to pass. The board aims for a 70% pass rate this year, a significant improvement from last year's 48%. Now, in our Public Voice segment, we had asked in several provinces, what advice would you give to students appearing for SEE? Let's take a look at what they had to say.
जसरी स्कुलमा तपाईहरुले एक्जाम दिनुभएको थियो त्यसरी नै एकदम आफ्नो मनमा लागेका कुराहरू कापीको पानामा राम्रो तरिकाले उतार्नु होला।
पहिला कुन सजिलो क्वेशनहरुको आन्सर दिनुस्, लास्टमा अनि अलि गाह्रो क्वेशन फेरि गरिसकेपछि पनि हामीले पुरा गर्यौं कि गरेनौ भएर फेरि एकचोटी रुजु गर्नु होला।
राम्रोसँग क्वेशनहरु हेरेर के छ त्यो मौलिकता अनुसार एक्जाम दिने।
हामीले पनि अभिभावक त हिसाबले राम्रो वातावरण गरिदिनु पर्छ, उनीहरुले एकदम कुल्ली भएर चाहिँ जात दिन पाओस्।
नआत्तिकिन परीक्षा सरले परीक्षाको पेपरहरु चाहिँ राम्रोसँग पढेर परीक्षा दिनु होला।
सिटको भरमा पास गर्ने त्यस्तो सोचेर बस्यो भने कहिले पनि अगाडि बढ्दैन।
आफ्नो भविष्य निर्माणमा जति तयारी गर्नु भएको छ सोही अनुसारको तयारीका साथमा गएर भोलि लड्ने हो, लेख्ने हो अनि राम्रो रिजल्ट लिएर आउने हो।
एक्जाम राम्रोसँग देऊ, नआत्तिकन एकदम राम्रो गर।
कसैको सिको गरेर पनि नगर होला, नडराउनु होला। आफ्नो जानेको बुझेको जति छ त्यति लेख्नु होला, तपाईहरु सफल हुनुहुन्छ।
एसी दिने विद्यार्थीहरु कहिले पनि डराउनु हुँदैन।
चिट नगर्नु, आफ्नो जति शिक्षा छ त्यति विचारले त्यो परीक्षा दिनु।
राम्रोसँग पढ्नु होला। तपाईलाई एसी को शुभकामना।
सकारात्मक रूपबाट परीक्षा दिँदै सफलतापूर्वक उहाँको पनि आमा बाउको इच्छा आकांक्षाहरू प्रतिपूर्ति गर्नुहुनेछ भन्ने आशा गर्दछु।
एकदम अनुशासित भएर तपाईहरु परीक्षा दिनु अनि एकदम राम्रो लेख्नु, पास हुनु।
सकभर चाहिँ राम्रो गर्नुहुन्छ भन्ने सुझाव दिन चाहन्छु।
पूरा समय सहभागी भएर बढी भन्दा बढी मार्क ल्याएर चाहिँ नि एउटा उज्जवल भविष्यतिर लम्कनका लागि भाइ बहिनीहरूलाई म हार्दिक शुभेच्छा प्रकट गर्न चाहन्छु।
The Ministry of Health decided on July 19 to operate OPD services in 2 shifts in hospitals in order to manage the influx of patients and match the available resources with the demand. Accordingly, on July 20, the ministry sent letters to all federal hospitals and health science institutes. However, despite 8 months passing since the letter was sent, effective implementation has not yet taken place.
The ministry has only issued instructions to expand services but has not provided the necessary infrastructure, manpower, or budget. As a result, Bhaira Awaz Pheri Hospital has clarified that it is unable to operate OPD services in 2 shifts immediately. The hospital administration states that there is a shortage of manpower for wards and for the care of patients after surgeries, making it difficult to implement the directive.
मेन चाहिने भने चाहिँ म्यान पावर छ, मध्यम स्तरको मेडिकल अफिसर र नर्सिङहरू। अहिले सङ्घीय स्वास्थ्य मन्त्रालयले हामीलाई केही 20-21 जना जति हामीलाई नर्सिङ म्यान पावर दिनुभएको छ। त्यसैले हामीले नयाँ सर्जिकल विङ जसमा बर्न वार्ड पनि छ, नयाँ पोस्ट अपरेटिभ वार्ड, आइसियूलाई नयाँ बिल्डिङमा सिफ्ट गर्ने गर्दैछौँ। तर त्यो पनि अपुग भएको कारणले गर्दाखेरि हामीलाई थप म्यान पावर दियो भने हामीले यो चाँडै सञ्चालनमा ल्याउँछौँ।
2 शिफ्टमै गर्न सके त अत्यन्त राम्रो हुन्थ्यो, तर हाम्रो बाध्यात्मक कारण छ, हामीसँग एकदमै लिमिटेड अथवा चाहिँ सीमित स्रोत र साधनहरू छ। अब एउटा डिपार्टमेन्टको मात्रै कुरो हुँदैन, सञ्चालन गरिसकेपछि सम्पूर्ण डिपार्टमेन्टको हुन्छ, प्रयोगशालाको कुरो हुन्छ, एक्सरेको हुन्छ, भिडियो अल्ट्रासाउन्डको कुरा हुन्छ, सिटी एमआरआईको कुरा हुन्छ। अब डाक्टरले एउटा बिरामी हेरेर मात्रै हुने कुरा होइन, यो समग्र होल प्याकेज, हस्पिटलको होल प्याकेज नै 2 शिफ्टमा चाहिँ जानुपर्ने अवस्था आउन सक्छ। त्यस अनुसारको म्यान पावरको व्यवस्था हुनुपर्छ।
Elsewhere, Narayani Hospital in Birganj has also stated that due to a lack of equipment, manpower and infrastructure, it is unable to implement the ministry's directive.
धेरै सेवाहरू चाहिँ EHS बाटै पाइरहनु भएको छ बिरामीहरूले, किन भन्दाखेरि जनशक्ति कम छ। एउटा पुरै यत्रो केन्द्रीय अस्पतालमा रेडियोलोजिस्ट भनेर एकजना मात्रै, त्यो पनि 8औं तहका रेडियोलोजिस्ट एक्लै चाहिँ भिडियो एक्सरेदेखि लिएर अहिले सिटी केही दिनको लागि बिग्रे पनि सिटी स्क्यान, त्यसैगरी एमआरआई आदि इत्यादि।
Meanwhile, the provincial hospital in Bhadrapur Jhapa, which operates with half the required manpower for a 50-bed hospital but runs 200 beds, has started OPD services in 2 shifts following the Health Minister's directive. However, due to the shortage of consultant doctors and medical officers, maintaining continuity of services has been difficult. The hospital, which upgraded from a 50-bed to a 200-bed facility by the Nepalese year 2079, previously had 28 consultant doctors and medical officers, but only 14 are available now. While the hospital has expanded the number of beds, it lacks the required number of doctors. The hospital management has expressed difficulty in following the Health Minister's directive while already struggling to operate a single shift.
अहिले भइराखेको जनशक्तिले र अहिले भइराखेको स्रोत साधनले चाहिँ 2 शिफ्टमा पूर्ण रूपमा चाहिँ ओपीडी चलाउनलाई हामीलाई निकै कठिन भइराखेको अवस्था छ। यद्यपि हामीले अहिले त्यो सेवा चाहिँ सुचारू गरेका छौं, सीमित जनशक्तिको बावजुद पनि, र यसको लागि हामीलाई कठिनाइ चाहिँ धेरै छ। हामीसँग कन्सल्टेन्ट डाक्टरहरू पर्याप्त उपलब्ध हुनुहुन्न, त्यसका साथै मेडिकल अफिसरहरू पनि पर्याप्त उपलब्ध नभएको कारणले गर्दा यो सेवा चलाउन चाहिँ हामीलाई निकै कठिन भएको अवस्था छ।
Experts warn if the government makes decisions without considering how to implement them, such problems will continue. They call for decisions based on available resources in manpower, not just assumptions.
Lawmakers have strongly criticized the government for remaining indifferent while citizens struggle to access healthcare, a right guaranteed by the Constitution. They have demanded improvements in the effectiveness of the health insurance system. During yesterday's session of the House of Representatives, Nepali Congress lawmaker and medical professional Sunil Sarma presented an urgent proposal calling for better management of health insurance and treatment funds for underprivileged citizens.
कसैलाई पनि आकस्मिक स्वास्थ्य सेवाबाट वञ्चित गरिने छैन भनेर यही सदनले पास गरेको यो संविधान हो। आफूले बनाएको संविधान नमान्ने हो नमान्ने भनौं, होइन भने दूरदराजमा नागरिकहरू अहिले उपचारबाट वञ्चित भएर मर्नुपर्ने अवस्थाको विद्यमानता छ।
A dozen parliamentarians supported the proposal. During the discussion, lawmakers stressed that the state must not neglect citizens' right to health care. They also urged the government to enhance the effectiveness of the health insurance system.
वास्तवमा सरकारी अस्पतालमा गरीब जनतालाई लाइनमा लाग्दैमा शास्ति छ, निजी अस्पतालहरू अति नै महँगो छ। आज कयौं मानिस आर्थिक अवस्थाका कारण मृत्यु रोज्न बाध्य भएका छन्, जस्तो बिमापति वास्तवमा मान्छेको अविश्वास भइरहेको छ।
प्रत्येकबाट 3500 रुपैयाँ लिने, सेवा दिन्छु भनेर कबुल गर्ने, बिमा गर्ने, तर बिमा बापतको औषधि उपचार खर्च नदिने, औषधि नगर्ने, यो जुनसुकै समाजको लागि धेरै लाज लाग्ने विषय हो।
स्वास्थ्य सेवामा समग्र देशवासीको पहुँच पुर्याएर मात्रै हामीले राज्य र नागरिकको सम्बन्ध बलियो बनाउन सक्छौँ।
In response, Health Minister Pradeep Paudel stated that 40 billion rupees will be required for health insurance in the upcoming year and emphasized the need to develop the system based on citizens' contributions.
यो जुन झुटा दाबी छ त्यसको छानबिन सँगै हामीले यो भुक्तानी गर्दै जान्छौँ। यो वर्ष भुक्तानी हुन्छ तर अर्को वर्ष 10 अरब विनियोजन गरेर 40 अरब खर्च हुने कार्यक्रम व्यवस्थित ढंगले चल्छ भनेर मान्न सकिन्छ त? म बिमामा जोडिए भने मैले 3500 रुपैयाँ तिरे हुन्छ। मैले खाने तलबबाट 2% बिमामा योगदान गर्ने व्यवस्था भयो भने मैले 17,000 तिर्नुपर्छ। राष्ट्रपतिदेखि कार्यालय सहयोगीसम्म सबै संगठित क्षेत्रमा निजी क्षेत्रमा हामी तलब खानेहरूले योगदान गर्ने प्रणालीको विकास गरौँ।
Lawmakers also suggested increasing the healthcare workforce and ensuring accessible medical services at local levels. Nepal has been placed on the grey list for money laundering and failure to take action against those involved in criminal and illegal activities. However, smuggling continues to be a major issue. On Tuesday, a truck driver was arrested while attempting to smuggle foreign currency worth 250 million Nepali rupees to China. The individual, who had previously been arrested 8 years ago with 7 kgs of gold, had managed to move such a large amount of money through covered channels, although the final destination remains unclear. Now, authorities suspect that the currency may have been intended for payment related to the gold trade, and investigations are still underway.
44-year-old Kusang Lama has been arrested for the second time after being previously detained in 2016 while attempting to smuggle 7 kilograms of gold from Rasuagadi border into Nepal. After serving a 5-year sentence, he is once again under arrest. Police believe that it is unusual for a person with his background to be entrusted with a large sum of money by smugglers. The Central Investigation Bureau CIB, which began investigating a gold smuggling case involving 60 kilograms of gold last year, concluded that 37 quintals of gold had entered Nepal. However, the sources and payment methods for such a large quantity of gold remain unclear. The Bureau found that most of the payments had been made using cryptocurrency. On Tuesday, a truck driver was apprehended in Toka, Kathmandu with 1.375 million euros and $420,000 while heading to Rasuagadi. This arrest has once again raised alarms for the police. Kusang has been handed over to the Department of Revenue Investigation for further action. Meanwhile, the Valley Crime Investigation Office is focusing on how foreign currency worth 250 million Nepali rupees was exchanged. Authorities suspect Kusang may have ties to an old gold smuggling syndicate and that he had purchased a truck in his mother's name. After the 2015 earthquake, smuggling routes from China shifted to Rasuagadi, and authorities believe that smuggling of foreign currency is also being used to facilitate these activities.
अब डेफिनेटली यसको मालिकहरू कलेक्टरहरू डिफ्रेन्ट हुन सक्छन्। अब डिफ्रेन्ट मान्छेको लागि काम गरिरहेको पनि हुन सक्छन्। अब पुरानो मान्छे जेल परेर छुटेर फेरि यसमा जोडिएको देख्दाखेरि चाहिँ पुरानै मान्छेको इन्भल्भमेन्टमा अहिलेसम्म पनि गरिरहेको छ कि जस्तो चाहिँ लाग्छ। अब त्यसको अहिलेको स्थिति अब यहाँ भएको सञ्चित रहेको मुद्रा विदेश जानु पनि एकमा गम्भीर विषय हो। अब यसलाई चाहिँ राम्ररी इन्भेस्टिगेसन गर्नुपर्छ जस्तो मलाई लाग्छ।
9 Chinese nationals were arrested in connection with the 60-kilogram gold smuggling case. The group had used cryptocurrency to pay nearly 1 billion Nepali rupees. In the case filed in court, the demand for damages from the smuggling of 362 kilograms of gold has reached 3.5 billion rupees. Despite the seizure of foreign currency worth 250 million, the police have not yet been able to trace the masterminds behind these operations. Kusang, in his statement, revealed that he was responsible for transporting the smuggled funds to Kerung in Rasuagadi.
यहाँबाट हामीलाई सुराग आएको चाहिँ चाइना जाँदैछ भन्ने सुराग आएको र यसले काठमाडौँको विभिन्न ठाउँबाट कलेक्ट गरेर अब यो पहिले पनि अवैध सुनको कारोबारमा पक्राउ परेको मान्छे हो। त्यसमा जोडिएर 5 वर्ष जेल यसको पछाडीको पृष्ठभूमि त्यस्तो छ र अहिले पनि यताबाट सुन लिएर गएर यताबाट डलर युरो लिएर गएर उताबाट सुन ल्याउने गिरोहसँग संलग्न मान्छे पनि हुन सक्छन्। अब यसको हामीले डिपली इन्भेस्टिगेट गर्नुपर्छ।
The foreign currency seized on Tuesday highlights the ongoing issue of managing wealth gained through criminal activities, which is a sensitive issue closely linked to money laundering. According to central bank's regulations, foreign currency exchange and uses can only be carried out with official authorization. However, the ease with which foreign currency is being exchanged and used in smuggling operations, experts say, requires a deeper investigation to understand the full scope of these illegal activities.
It is time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion. Yesterday's question: what is the best way to ensure smooth leadership transition in political parties? Your options are A. Set an age limit, B. Determine a fixed term, or C. Trust individual morals. The voting is on. Type ANEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. It is time for International Update. US President Donald Trump has held what he described as a very good hour-long phone call with the Ukrainian counterpart Volodymyr Zelensky a day after speaking to Russia's President Vladimir Putin. Writing on his social media platform Truth Social, Trump said the call was aimed at aligning Ukraine and Russia in terms of their requests and needs, adding that the ceasefire posts were on track. Zelensky described his conversation with Trump as positive, frank and very substantive. Zelensky admits that Europe's largest power plant, which is on the front line, could take more than 2 years to be made operational again and is vital for Ukrainians and Europeans. He also said that a halt on strikes on energy infrastructure, rail and port facilities could be established quickly as part of a partial ceasefire brokered by Washington and Kyiv, but Zelensky warned that Ukraine would retaliate if Moscow violated the terms of the ceasefire. Now, real-life droids from the Star Wars franchise stole the spotlight at NVIDIA's annual software developer conference in San Jose, California on Wednesday. Disney showcased 2 droids that can walk, dance and express emotions and allowed attendees to interact with them at the NVIDIA booth on the showroom floor in the San Jose Convention Center. The droid also appeared on stage with NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang during his keynote speech on Tuesday. Known as BDX droids, the creatures have appeared in the Star Wars TV show The Mandalorian and in 2 of the franchise's video games, Fallen Order and Survivor. Although not fully autonomous, the droids are operated by a puppeteer with a controller. The droids do control their own balance and gait, skills they acquire through reinforcement learning. The droids have already interacted with guests at Disney parks and are currently touring various Disney properties. They also made a recent appearance on a Disney cruise. That is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.